Hi everybody, a quick note before I launch into the main body of this video. I recorded the main body of this video 2 or 3 days ago. I think 3 days ago. I didn't have time to edit and upload it yet, but there's another update, with my husband that's really just amazing. So I'm going to post that update to the update at the end of this. I'm sorry if my camera is shaking. So I want to encourage you to hang on until the end for more of an update, okay? Many of you saw my video from a couple of weeks ago where I talked to my husband about going carnivore. So I'm here with a little bit of an update. He has not had a schedule that's allowed him to sit and talk with me again on video, but he will at some point. But I wanted to update you myself about his journey now a couple of weeks in, and some things that I've added to my own regimen that seem to have made a difference and kind of where I'm at in my own carnivore journey. Hello, everybody. I'm Texas Donna, and I'm happy to be talking to you today. I am in my 50s. I'm nearly an empty nester. I am hitting menopause. I am dealing with carb addiction, all kinds of things, and I'm trying to launch into the next phase of my life with a long eye forward so that I can live a very healthy life and be fully alive for many more decades instead of a slow decline. I think I know that when I was younger, we started looking at people in their 50s and 60s as getting old. And here I am, and I don't want to be that. I want to be youthful for many more decades to come. So here we go. All right, so my husband, he is a yoga teacher. He is in his mid-60s, and in my view, he's looking great. He looks pretty cute to me. I'll keep him. So he started carnivore. He's from all outward appearances, metabolically healthy. He does yoga workouts with clients and by himself daily. He has a good physique, all that kind of thing. But he was eating a lot of plant-based stuff, and in the yoga community, you can be persona non grata if you eat meat. I know a lot of yoga teachers who do eat meat, and they kind of ignore that, but it comes with like a sense of guilt or shame often, very often, not always, but often. But I was watching my husband get worried about a loss of his sense of smell. There's some neurological conditions that can be a precursor to. So he was definitely paying attention to that. He snores, and I'm definitely paying attention to that. So I kept telling him, listen, I believe you've got undetected internal inflammation. And I think if you go hyper anti-inflammatory, which is not what you have, or really both of us have been believing for decades, but if you find the truth about a hyper anti-inflammatory diet, then at least we can know if it's possible to fix these things, most particularly the sense of smell, most particularly the snoring, perhaps a reduction in anxiety and focus and drive, other things that men like to have. I think I've got like a hair on my hat. Anyway, he entered this with some skepticism, and you can see it in the other video, which I will link in the description to this. And many of you noted in the comments, you don't seem sure, and he was not sure. And he felt kind of okay, and then every time he wanted to eat, he was asking me, can I eat this? Can I eat this? And I posted in my community tabs the note I put on my refrigerator for optimal diet, okay, but not really optimal, you need to wait on this. Anyway, I categorized the different foods under the carnivore umbrella for him so that he could get used to it. Now, he's been eating carbs, grains, lots of fruit. Oh my goodness, so much fruit. Some actual sugar, although he didn't really have a junk food diet. A few vegetables. He really gravitated toward fruit though, but I was really trying to convince him that or share with him rather the information about the sugar molecule in fruit and how it's not really much better for you than anything else. And in some ways it may be more harmful and more inflammatory. So I think he finally thought I might as well, because I'm not regaining my sense of smell. My wife is being awakened by my snoring. So he finally gave it a shot. And because I believe he's been a sugar burner for decades, he did experience lower energy. He was getting worried. He was kind of complaining about this and got more and more skeptical, and it got a little tense around here. I'm saying, you just got to hang in there. Your body needs to switch. And he's like, how long will that take? And I'm like, I don't want to tell him. Like, for me, it took months, but I'm less metabolically healthy than he is. Well, yesterday, he went out and about to teach some clients, and he texted me and said he felt really good. And he had a lot of energy all day yesterday. That made me so happy. Today, he was in the kitchen. He's also gone now taking care of some stuff, and he said he felt really good and that he feels like his energy now has shifted and he's starting to feel some measure of hope again. Regarding this diet, and he has regained his confidence in it. I have so many cuts of meat prepared in the refrigerator for him right now so that he does not get bored. He's got a variety of animal protein sources ready to go in there. He's got a variety of cuts of meat, of textures, all of that ready to go for him so that he doesn't get bored, so he feels, fulfilled. Sometimes we want different mouth feels. We want crunchy, we want creamy, we want whatever. Anyway, so I just tried to make sure he had all of those available to him. So now he's feeling good. He's feeling optimistic. Life has its ups and downs, so I am hoping that this continues with him, and I will certainly keep you updated. He is detecting what he thinks is a tiny improvement in his sense of smell. Now, this is subjective. It's not even measurable, but he is feeling optimistic about his sense of smell. He seems to be detecting more notes, as he calls it, in his sense of smell. I'll keep you posted on that. Now, regarding the snoring, the first 8 days, he only snored one night out of the first 8 days. And let me tell you, out of any previous 8 days, he'd be snoring 7 or 8 of those nights. So this was a big improvement. He began adding a little more dairy in. The snoring has returned. So I've mentioned it to him. Sometimes, especially if you're new and you haven't really conquered your need for carbs and all of that, or your desire for carbs, like cheese hits the spot. So I've told him I don't want to put any added pressure on him. I've just tried to explain what's optimal, what's less optimal, and what you really want to stay away from. So I told him optimally no cheese. I got some manchego, which is sheep's milk cheese. I said suboptimally, you feel like you can't stay away from the cheese, have a little bit of manchego cheese. It's less inflammatory. And then I have other cheeses in there. I've got, one son that lives here, another son that comes by here frequently. They're carnivore. They can tolerate dairy, though. So I've got these other cheeses in here. I said less optimally, a little bit of the other cheeses. So we'll see how that goes. I was enjoying the no snoring nights. So I hope that he can get to a point where it's closer to the optimal end of the spectrum. I feel like the snoring will really go away more at that point. He started thinking he might do lion, but it's just been hard. So he's adding eggs. I got him some smoked salmon. It's clean smoked salmon. He is having a little bit of bacon, that kind of thing. Right now, I just want him to be able to cope mentally with this whole idea, and then maybe he will experience the internal motivation to go to the next level. A couple of nights ago, before he felt this shift in energy, he was freaking out about how long he was going to have to do this, because I said some people are saying 90 days, and he was like, that's like through Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I'm like, just calm down. Let's get you to 30 days, which is October 13th or something like that, mid-October. Let's get you to that point. Just calm down. We'll get you to that point, and then we'll see. So now, past couple of days, as I've said, increase in energy, increase in drive, increase in mental clarity, increase in optimism about this whole thing. Ups and downs happen. Will he have another crash? I don't know. I can't say. I married him. I'm here for the ride. So let's see. Okay, now in terms of me, and my carnivore, I still battle carb addiction. And I have been thinking, the source is psychological. I'm not perfect on this. I have many, many good days, and then I will have a little sugar even, or something not optimal on a carnivore diet, just to be transparent about that. But I don't post big videos when I do that. I just kind of dust myself off and keep going forward. All I can do is make the next right decision. So I had gained weight since last year, which I'm not happy about. And Texas summer is lasting a long time, and I don't like it. I want it to cool down, but in a way I'm thankful, because the clothes I had from fall of last year are a little too tight on me right now. I need to take that weight back off. Here's what I think happens with a lot of us in carnivore, and a lot of you know that Kelly Hogan gained weight at first when she went on carnivore, and then she started to lose weight. I see a lot of people lose some inflammation weight right away, and then the real struggle hits, and some people gain weight right away. Some people gain it inexplicably. Some people gain it because of a dairy addiction. I definitely battle the dairy addiction. So, I can't really say, but here's my supposition regarding myself. Certainly, there's been some weight gain over the past several months when I incorporate dairy, all of that kind of thing. I know that dairy's got to be something that I limit a lot in my life. I think some of it, though, is because I was not, for so much of my life, not eating optimally, that there were just a lot of deficiencies within me, a lot of inflammatory things, and really, I think with carnivores, our bodies are wanting to re-nourish ourselves, and we may have much bigger appetites. I do see a lot of admonition to not limit food. Dr. Ken Berry says eat till you're comfortably stuffed. Kelly Hogan, she does encourage tracking, but it's not to make sure you're eating too little. It's to make sure you're not sure to make sure you're eating too much, but make sure you're not eating too little. Is it more her focus? And all of that. So, but then I recently hit a point where my appetite plummeted. So I did gain weight, and I was very hungry, and I had been tracking because I'd been part of Kelly Hogan's July coaching group. I added calories. I felt better. I dropped 9 pounds, and then I gained a little bit of that back, and then kind of plateaued and couldn't take it back off. And now, and I was still battling carb addictions. And then I was also I couldn't get my blood sugar into a lower range that I was wanting. It was staying in the 90s. Then I came across a bunch of videos about berberine. Now, I have experience with berberine, but it's only inconsistent, which is the story of my life, right? Lack of consistency is the story of my life. And I thought, well, what happens if I take berberine, every day committed? Now, the carnivore diet and the carnivore lifestyle is one where you really need minimal supplementation, but some things do help people. Some iodine supplementation helps people. Electrolyte supplementation, because of the how we are shedding inflammatory fluids, that's helpful. Some people need to add CoQ10. Dr. Berry recommends that for some people. Some supplementation is helpful. I also believe that while plants do not make great food, they can make pretty good medicine. If I get any medicine from the doctor, I take a little pill, I don't have a plate of the medicine, right? So berberine, I have the bottle here of what I use. Okay, let me bring that up here. I'll put a link to this berberine in the description of this video. I watched a lot of YouTube videos about berberine, its effect on blood sugar, its effect on carb cravings, its effect on weight loss. There's my little girl dog wanting out. I'm going to see if she'll calm down here. So I thought, okay, well, what if I take that? So I've been taking this committedly for 3 or 4 days, and my carb cravings have completely gone away. I mean, completely gone away. Is it coincidence? I don't know. My appetite has gone way down. And I believe I've lost a little bit of weight. I haven't stepped on the scale, but the pants I'm wearing right now, the waistband is a little bit looser, and I feel a loss of inflammation in my abdominal area. So I'm going to keep taking this berberine probably for 30 days or 60 days. There's my little girl dog wanting to go out. Luna Rose, hang tight. She's an impatient little dog, but I love her. All right, and then another thing I started taking, again, I bought this a long time ago. I'm the queen of inconsistency. I am going to pause this video because I've got the queen of insistency at the back door. I'm going to let her out. I'll be right back. Okay, the dog is out the door, and I bet that she'll ask to come back in like any second now. In any case, so I was talking about this other supplement. I watched a recent video on Tammy Peterson's YouTube channel. Tammy Peterson is Jordan Peterson's wife, and many of you know that Jordan Peterson eats the lion diet, his daughter Michaela eats the lion diet, and Tammy Peterson eats the lion diet, but she can only eat lamb. She has histamine intolerance. Well, I have histamine intolerance. I was told after a food sensitivity test and environmental sensitivity test a long time ago that I am allergic to my own digestive enzymes. Isn't that weird? Let me tell you how much that stinks. It makes sense because every time I eat, my nose runs. I get a runny nose every time. My husband and I make a joke out of it. Oh, here comes the runny nose. It's more, it has a more pronounced effect when I eat chicken, so I do limit my consumption of chicken. In any case, I can tell. And I had bought this digestive histamine supplement, which I'll show you in a second. And then I kind of blew it off because, how stupid can I be sometimes? I'm 54. Can I not learn life's lessons? Let's be real here. But Tammy Peterson has the same problem that I have, and she takes this supplement, and she takes it at a much higher dose than I had been taking. And when she recommends it to other people, they don't experience benefits if they take it at a lower dose. So she talked about it. I don't even think she mentioned what it was, but when she mentioned the dose she takes, it's in thousands of a unit called HOU. Well, that supplement is called DAO, and I get it in the form of this histamine block by Seeking Health. All right, and Tammy Peterson mentioned that she takes 30,000 HOU 2 times a day. So I guess she eats twice a day. So a few minutes before she eats, 2 times a day. I had only been taking 1, I think. It's not a super cheap supplement. But 3 days ago also, I made this also part of my day, and I upped the dosage. And I still get a little bit of a runny nose, but it's gone, like 90% gone. And I feel better. I feel better after I eat. So right now, with the combination of the berberine, I feel very even keeled, and I'm having absolutely no carb cravings. My appetite has gone way down, and believe me, I've got 20 to 30 pounds of my own self that my body could live on, so I'm not worried about that. I'm going to obey the appetite. And then taking this has really made my digestion easier. So if you suffer from a histamine intolerance, consider looking into that. If you have complicated ongoing health conditions, then please seek the guidance and input of your own trusted healthcare provider. I would say that. I would say look up information about berberine. It can have some mild side effects, but I like digestive upset and stuff like that. I'm not having any of that. But I wanted to mention it because some people, I guess, do have those things. In any case, I will put a link to both of these in the description here, and you can check them out for yourself if you'd like to consider taking them. There was something else that I was going to mention. I'm going to pause this while I think about it. Okay, I thought about it, and it's so ironic because it's my own mental clarity since I've been taking these. Funny how I couldn't remember to talk about my increase in mental clarity. Let's all take a second to laugh at that. But in any case, it is true. Yesterday, I was on my feet all day. I did a lot all day. I did not rest all day until nighttime. And I mean, I felt great. No carb cravings, reduced appetite. I did eat yesterday. I had plenty of meat. I had plenty of protein and balanced fat to go with that. I'm not starving myself at one bit, but I had one meal and I was just very satisfied and highly energized all day long. So anyway, I'm feeling good about all of this. You may notice that my hat says Ribeye Rebel. Do you see that? Ribeye Rebel. I designed these and they're in my little merch shop attached to this video. Yes, I set one of those up. I'll probably set up some kind of other design as well. This is on like t-shirts and mugs. I think there's a little glitch. Some of the designs show up as blank shirts, but they're not really blank. I don't sell shirts and hats for a living. So I did the best I could to link up my shop. But in any case, this is available in this kind of dusty red. And then there's one in kind of a dusty charcoal color that you can get as well, mugs and t-shirts. If you feel like Ribeye Rebel describes you, then I invite you to check out these hats. I do get a little bit when you do that. It helps me, buy the additional meat that now I'm buying for my husband. So I appreciate that. So if you want to be part of the team that helps my yoga teacher husband stay carnivore, you could do your part by buying a hat. But you know what? If you're struggling also, then keep all your money for your own meat in your own household. Really no skin off my nose. So that's it. I guess that's all. So my oldest son is pretty much all carnivore, but he doesn't stress. He's 22. So if he goes to, like, all his friends are getting married, wedding receptions, he will eat kind of what he wants, but he doesn't have a weight problem and all of that. But his day-to-day life is carnivore based. And he just sent me a text. I saw, "Hey mom, a friend of mine is going carnivore." So he's got a question about that I'm going to respond to. My younger son, meat primary. He starts with meat, but he eats kind of other stuff too. So we'll see. So that's the state of my family. That's all. That's the update for now. I've yammered on and on. Thanks everybody for hanging in there. I love you guys, and I'll keep you updated about my husband. I'll keep you updated about berberine and this DAO and all that good stuff. Hope y'all are well. Bye-bye. Okay, now it's 2 or 3 days after, I think 3 days after I recorded that other video, and I'm just holding my phone with my hand, so pardon me if it's shaking a little bit. My husband ended up fasting for 2 or 3 days because he felt amazing. He felt amazing, and he just wasn't hungry. I think he had a little bit of beef broth with ghee in it. But his mental clarity is incredible. His sense of personal drive is incredible. It has just skyrocketed. And I took a look at his gut area, his abdomen area. He did not need to lose weight by any sort of normal standards, but he has leaned out in his gut in a way that is shocking to me. Shocking. Unbelievable. We're going to try to get pictures and post those. It is so clear that apparently he must have lost a bunch of visceral fat, a bunch of inflammation. I mean, it's unbelievable to me, the difference in his physicality, in his sense of drive, his mental clarity, his sense of happiness, everything. I mean, it's like a huge cloud has lifted and he's just this machine now. It's been about 2.5 weeks of him being on carnivore, and I just want to cry. I want to cry at seeing what it's done for this person who didn't need to lose weight, but needed carnivore for other things. So anyway, we will keep you guys posted. He's going to stay on this for a while now because now he's sold. You saw his hesitation in that very first video. The hesitation is gone. All right, I'm hoping to get him on camera with me at some point soon. Bye.